Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, headmaster, teachers, parents, and fellow students. This is it. In a few minutes' time, I will be saying goodbye to my primary school life. It has been an amazing time at Colet. I'm very fortunate to have so many wonderful and inspiring teachers and meet a lot of friendly smiles. I have learnt a variety of subjects, including classical subjects like Latin, Sanskrit, philosophy, Shakespeare, and even sewing and first aid courses. I'm not quite sure sewing and first aid courses are classical, but they're definitely a life-saving skill. I came to Colet School in year 1. I remember I didn't want to leave my kindergarten friends. But when my mum said I was going to Colet School with my sister, my eyes lit up. Chocolate school? I gasped and said, I want to go to the chocolate school every day, including Saturdays and Sundays, thinking that we would eat chocolates every day. But the Colet School vegetarian lunches were just as good. I don't think I know any other school that provides a hot lunch for students every day, and even the delicious desserts. Banoffee pies. Early this year, 6th class hopped on a bus to attend the National Young Leaders Day at the Olympic Park. Leaders from around the state came to talk to us about leadership. I thought leadership would be all about the big things, how to do great things and lead the nation, and how to change the world for the better. But as it turned out, it was also about the little things that I didn't even notice, and often it is the little things that mattered most, like the attitude of being humble and grateful. Winston Churchill once said, attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. As we know, every kid likes to help, wants to change the world. But shouldn't we start with the little things, like helping our parents with the dishwashing? So I should start washing the dishes, doing little things that my dad calls domestic engineering. Last holidays, my family and I went to Taiwan and we visited the giant tree at the national park. The size of the giant tree was incredibly big, that it takes about 20 people linked arm to arm all the way around. But not only was it enormous, it was very old too. It's about 3,000 years old, and there are many legends about it. One legend goes like this. There were many kinds of plants, shrubs, and flowers around the giant tree. Every day, they would look up in amazement at the giant tree, longing to know the secret for being so big and tall. A little sprout asked, "Show me the way to reach the sky." The little rose wondered, "Mr. Giant Tree, is it lonely up there? Do you have any family or friends?" The giant tree chuckled. I did have a few older siblings and friends when I was little, and I was constantly being told that I wasn't strong enough, that I was weak and not useful. When people walked past us, my older siblings and friends would eagerly show off their strong trunks and branches, comparing with each other. A little frangipani wondered, where are they now? The giant tree sighed. One day, a group of people came with saws and axes. They chopped them down and took them away, leaving me, the weak one, behind. Then how did you grow so big and tall? The giant tree replied, when the clouds came, the rain fell, nourishing me, and when they parted, the sun came, warming me. Even the fierce storms taught me how to be resilient. Every one of them contributed to who I am today. As Lao Tzu said, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The giant tree continued. Every one of you may not grow up to be exactly like me, because every one of you is different and special in your own way. One day, when the time comes, some of you will grow into become a tree, some will become a tall bamboo, and some will bloom into roses. We are different, yet we are the same. We are a diverse community. We are compassionate. We help each other and we respect one another. Then a little grass shouted out, "Yes, we should not compare with each other, be jealous or judgmental." The giant tree smiled and said, "Life at times can be challenging and difficult, but it is not meant to be impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible." My fellow students, we are all like the little sprout, grass, bamboo tree, or frangipani, striving to grow up to be the tree of John Colet School. If there is a need to change, I should start changing myself first and start from the little things first. More than 30 years ago, Mr. Main, our first headmaster, planted the seed of John Colet. Every day he watered it and nurtured it with the help of Mrs. McKendrick and Mrs. Donald. The tree of John Colet has grown strong and sturdy, providing shade and comfort for all the students. And I am sure that under the wisdom of Headmaster Mr. Wilcock, this tree will continue to grow taller and bigger. As the school board, Mr. Wolfers said, John Colet School will still be here in 500 years' time. I thank you, Mr. Main, Mrs. McKendrick, our first headmistress, and Mrs. Donald. I thank you, Mr. Wilcock, for continuing the work. Mr. Wilcock, I will miss greeting you every morning at the school gate. I will miss you as the lollipop man in the fancy suit. I will miss laughing till my stomach hurts with your puns and jokes. You said that you are very good at sleeping. You can do it with your eyes closed. I'm good at sleeping too. I can sleep with one eye closed and the other eye shut. Thank you to all those teachers who have shone a light on my way. Miss Cipollone, I will miss the days when we meditate, praying for those in need, and when we sit outside, meditating in the warm morning sun. Mrs. Miles, I will miss your beautiful music. It has inspired me to love music more. And Mrs. Orcon and Mrs. Gadsby, thank you for brightening up our creative life with paintings and brushes. Mrs. Crew, I will miss being in your class. It was always fun. Whenever we leave your class, we always laugh and carry a huge smile on our faces. And Mrs. Peachner, thank you for your hard work, especially bringing up girls to play chess. I can't thank enough to Mrs. Renshaw, Mrs. Navidi, Miss White, Mr. Kinnamonth, and to all the teachers. And thank you to all the grown-ups working cheerfully in the school office. Mrs. Ladamatis, I love your bubbly smiles. I will miss your cuddly teddy bear hugs too. My Year 6 fellow friends, we have all been like brothers and sisters, helping each other, learning together, and playing handball every lunchtime. I thank you for your support and your warm friendship. I will treasure our times together. I wish you all the best in the future. It's like a dream that I have been in. I'm so lucky to meet so many friendly smiles and to learn from this tree of John Colet. It's like a home away from home. Well, this is it. It's time to say goodbye. My fellow Year 6 classmates, it's time for us to say hello too. Let's say hello to our high schools. Here we come. Thank you.